Hello, Huge Movie Fanatic Nate reporting on February 1st, 2018. I'm enjoying a fire here on a cold winter night. It's currently 2 degrees Fahrenheit outside. We're enduring some kind of extended cold here in Minnesota this winter. We went through, it seemed like the last, 4, 5, 6 weeks was just crazy cold, and then I thought we were going to get out of it, and it looked like we were going to get out of it, and now we're back in it, so hopefully this is it for the last week or two of it for the season. But since I just got a pretty fire going here, I thought I'd just aim the camera at it and just blab for a little bit and just do kind of a winter update. If you guys haven't seen my first review I did last year in 2017, I think it was the first video of last year I reviewed the Blu-ray New Year's Evil. I mentioned that I did that video uploaded at the very end of January 2017, if I'm remembering correctly. In that video at the beginning I kind of explained why I hadn't reviewed all month, and I just want to kind of do a video right now to explain what's going on this winter, basically, and it's probably going to be something that continues to happen this time of year, January into February possibly, depending on the weather. Like when it gets really freaking cold and just stays cold and it's snowy and winter and everything, like I said last year in the New Year's Evil Blu-ray review, I just get really unmotivated and just get really just blah, and it's like, it takes all your energy to get out of bed, quite honestly. And since, obviously, I'm not getting paid to do this or whatever, not that money is, whatever. I'm just trying to say that's why the reviews really just slow down this time of year, because I live in Minnesota and it's, maybe I'm part bear in my DNA, I don't know, but I really kind of feel like this is probably true for a lot of people that live in this kind of climate. I really feel like I partly kind of go into hibernation mode, and then this time of year when you kind of get towards the end of January and you creep towards, into February, it's really, generally kind of is the time of year in February where you really start to just feel the cabin fever and me being someone who loves outdoors during the summer and being on the water and the trails and stuff, it's just really a bummer. So I'm just, I thought I'd show you guys some nice fire footage and just kind of do an update instead of leaving you guys hanging. You probably already know that, I think it was like a couple days ago now, I uploaded to the day, 25 years later, and that's how anal and crazy I am, I uploaded this video, which has had some relatively, positive response so far. I'm interested to see, if any more guys of you check out the video or whatever, but I uploaded this video, it's almost nearly an hour long, of a buddy of mine and me from January 30th, 1993, where we're reviewing movies. And as it says in the description of the video itself, that video was originally shot at the time to be not just for ourselves to do for the hell of it, but it was shot with the intention to be uploaded into on a local cable public access channel thingy, which of course that requires knowing people and motivation and stuff. So obviously that never happened, and I just recently found it. Recently found a DVD. I put it on DVD years ago, and I didn't know if I had done it in DVD or not. And obviously, it was really easy to rip. That was something shot on VHS, of course, in 1993. Oh, by the way, I should also mention, if you've seen my review of the Best Buy ad that I did for 1992 Best Buy ad, the reason I was able to, I didn't own a color video camera at the time. It was just like a friend, an acquaintance had a video camera and was over with it and had left it behind, intending to come back. So that's why I had access to an actual color VHS camera at the time. I wouldn't have my own until I think fall of '93. So that's kind of a reason why my buddy came over that weekend, is because I had this rare occasion where I had access to an actual color VHS camcorder. So we took it upon ourselves to do a nearly hour-long review of horror movies at the time, and it was just really cool that I just right before the 25th anniversary, like the day of, I actually found the DVD of it that I'd made years ago, and I was able to easily rip that and kind of format it to the original 1:3:3-ish kind of ratio and upload that for the 25th anniversary, and just really kind of cool. And so I hope you guys enjoy that. That's something I recently did, and as a matter of fact, I'm recently in the process of, well, it's finished now. I'm actually going to upload another video, which is like 30, I don't know, it's like I think it's like 35 minutes long. I just got done prepping, which is something that I shot with the same guy in the spring of 1992 on PXL 2000 Fisher Price camera, but it was recorded on an actual VCR, and hi-fi VCR at that, so the sound is really good on this video. But it's basically a camp out. It's in the spring of 1992, and it's basically a camp out, sleepover thing with me and my buddy at the time, and we're just sitting outside, and my dad brings pizza, brings us pizza, and we all eat pizza, and me and my buddy are kind of just, it's not so much of a talk about movies, it's kind of just a pizza eating video with some movie talk interspersed throughout. But I thought, that'd be kind of a cool thing. I just recently found a DVD of that I had made years ago, and it was easy, easy to rip the DVD and, format that as well, because PXL 2000 had this little kind of black, black instead of like window boxing around the entire image, so I was able to kind of zoom into the image and make it fill the frame and be kind of like 1:3:3 in the 16:9 YouTube frame or whatever. So that's the next thing that's going to be going up right after, or day after, or several days, whatever, after this video. So that's what's going on right now. Another things of, before I end the video, things I got written down here of interest, very, very, very exciting, just in time for its 25th anniversary. Something that, I've been asking for back in, I think it was, gosh, when was it? Was it 2013 or something? Yeah, it was 2013. Maybe you guys have seen my review I did of Full Moon's Robot Wars. I've always been, ever since that movie came out, being a fan of Robot Jox. I was, ever since it came out in '93, I've been a huge fan of Robot Wars. And a very, very amazing thing finally happened in December. A Blu-ray, yes, Full Moon put out a Blu-ray of Robot Wars, and I have it, I've seen it. More times than I care to admit, actually, and I'm going to be doing a review of that. That might be the first review of the year, whenever it frickin' warms up. Maybe hope to be reviewing again mid to late February, so in a couple weeks here, hopefully. But that might be the very first review, or one of the first reviews of the year. Let me just kind of tease you by saying the Blu-ray is really goods about it, and then not so goods, and it's it's unfortunately, like so many Full Moon Blu-rays, it's a little bit of good and a little bit of bad, unfortunately. But I'll get into exactly what's good and what's bad in my review of the Blu-ray. But it looks absolutely stunning, I'll just say, and I got to tell you, the high definition, the standard definition that we've kind of been seeing Robot Wars for the first 25 years of its existence kind of helps hide some of the, when you see some of the optical effects of blue screen stuff in HD, it's just kind of like, oh man. So it obviously, when you have an HD transfer of a low budget movie with optical effects, that you can scrutinize the effects more closely, and it looks a little more crappy or whatever. But so there's goods and bads to that. The Robot Wars Blu-ray, but that's very, very, very exciting that that's finally on Blu-ray. And usually I wait for Full Moon Blu-rays to come down in price, so I don't have to pay frickin' $25 for one. But in that case, I could not wait. I waited 25 years for it already. I couldn't wait any longer to see Robot Wars in high definition. So that's something I'll be reviewing very soon, hopefully this month. Some other interesting developments that have come up since probably I did my last reviews in December. Arrow Video is going to be putting out a basket case Blu-ray, which is something that's kind of cool and kind of frustrating at the same time. Obviously, I've already got the Blu-ray that was put out by Something Weird Video, aka Image Entertainment. I got that, years and years ago or whatever, and I reviewed that along with my review of the movie basket case. And kind of frustrating because, I generally don't like to buy movies over and over and over if I can help it. I've already got it on VHS. I got 2 DVDs of it, so now I might end up with 2 Blu-rays of it. The only thing, if it wasn't for this one factor, the only factor that's about the Arrow Video release a basket case on Blu-ray is it's got a frickin', from what it says, a commentary with you know, the actual guy who played Dwayne Bradley. I can't pronounce his last name, Kevin Van Hentrick, or however the hell you say his last name. It's actually got a commentary with him, which is probably the one thing that's, you know, I think it's with him and the director, Frank Henlotter. And that, if it wasn't for that, I probably would pass on it. But unfortunately, I don't think I can pass on a commentary with Dwayne Bradley himself. It's purported to have a new 4K scan, which is something that's really interesting. It's really ironic every time they, like Texas Chainsaw and stuff, every time they do a 4K scan of something shot on 16mm, it's always kind of funny to me because I don't know, I don't think 16mm really isn't really even is 4K. It's probably a resolution that's greater than the format itself, but so that's something that I'm kind of, and right now I think it's currently like at $27 or $28 pricing or whatever. So that's something that I'm, you know, hopefully, I think that's coming out on the 13th, just like, you know, 12 days away from now or whatever, February 13th. So I don't know. Hopefully it comes down in price or whatever, but that's something that, because of the commentary, I don't know if I can pass on. Some more news here is something that really came out of the blue. Is it looks like Warner Archive, or whatever it calls itself, is going to be doing a new Blu-ray. I think this is coming out February 13th as well, of Texas, you know, Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 Blu-ray finally. So, you know, now basically all of them except for Next Generation, we're going to be on Blu-ray, and that's, I guess we can fairly say, or easily say at this point, all the, you know, the good ones will be on Blu-ray. Oh gosh, that's another thing, that a little tease from reviews that are coming up. I actually just blind-buyed Leatherface, the movie, the Chainsaw movie from last year on Blu-ray. Actually got it for my birthday. So I will be, I guess we'll just leave it at this. This will be a little tease for my review of Leatherface 2017, as I was none too impressed with that movie, and I'll tell you what, I'll just say this right now, and leave it at that until the review, that I think it is easily the worst Chainsaw movie ever made, even worse than The Next Generation, which I, you know, actually like things about. But I'll just leave it at that until I do my review. That'll be one of the first reviews I do when I start up back reviewing as well, is Leatherface 2017. It's really kind of a bummer. Another thing I saw at the Second Run Theater was a movie that, of course, I was intending to see eventually, which was Blade Runner 2049. This fad that Warner Brothers is doing currently, where they're like, even their standard 2D, you know, they're non-3D, just their normal standard 2D Blu-ray releases, a lot of times have been $25 even on release day. I refuse to pay that. I'm going to wait for the Blu-ray of Blade Runner 2049 to come down to, you know, preferably 20 or less before I buy that. I'm not gonna, that's just ridiculous, you know, to charge people or to ask that much money for a movie that, you know, Blu-ray that's not even 3D. But I was, that's another, you know, obviously I'll review the original Blade Runner, and then I'll review the, you know, Blade Runner 2049 probably back to back. But as a little tease to my review of Blade Runner 2049, I was not expecting much. The intention was to originally see it first run theater, but when I found out it was like 160 minutes or something like that, I was like, oh, I don't want to sit in a theater to, you know, I'll just blind buy it or whatever. But then it came to a second run theater, and saw it and was very impressed. So that'll be my little tease for my review of Blade Runner 2049. Very impressed. Actually, the most impressed I've been in a long time about a movie, you know, that comes out of the Hollywood system or whatever. And in closing, I'm going to be reviewing, this is further down the line, maybe in March or April, some previews for, you know, some franchises that I'll be reviewing is Amityville movies. I'm going to be talking about the Amityville movies, and the reason why I'm waiting that long is because I kind of, was the spring of 1991 I got into Amityville, and for me, in particular because the movies kind of take place in the warm times of year and stuff like that, even though I think the first one like kind of takes place in the fall or whatever, but because I'm anal and crazy and stuff like that, I kind of got into Amityville in the spring, so I kind of feel like I don't want to really talk about Amityville until the spring. I know it's crazy and it's OCD or whatever, but that's what's going to happen. But so that'll be some stuff to look forward to for March or April or whatever. I've got the first, I don't know how many, 5 or 6, 7, I don't know, including the remake. I got the remake as well. So I'll review all the Amityvilles that I have this spring is part of the plan. And also before spring comes, here I generally do in February and some winter related movies. I got some, I'm not going to spoil any of the titles, so I'll just make you guys wait to see what some of the winter related movies are that I'll be reviewing also when I return, hopefully later on this month. Hopefully mid to late February, I'll be returning to review. But I kind of blabbed on a lot more than I thought I would. But I just wanted to stop by and just, show you guys a nice fire and just give an update as to what the hell's going on with me. It's just kind of hibernation time, and, for the most part, pretty much expect this every January, I'd say. Just, as long as the winter is cold and crap or whatever, and it's just like I say, it's hard enough to get yourself out of bed. So thank you very much for watching this video and all my videos and stuff. Like I say, I just recently uploaded the I think it's like 58-minute long, 25-year-old video of me and my buddy at the time reviewing horror movies. It's by the name of The Critics Horror Movie Reviews 1993. And also, not long after this video goes up, will be probably title this thing, this upcoming video, Pizza, something pizza eating and movie talk or something like that. It's more eating pizza and hanging out than it is movie talk, but it's movie talk kind of sparsely inserted throughout. So that video might be a little more boring to you guys, but maybe some of you will get a kick out of it as well. So that's what's going on right now. I'm actually kind of excited to get back into movie reviews. Excited for the warm weather always is what, this time of year, always excited for the warm weather. Oh, I've got, in closing, I've acquired, I think last summer, the remake of April Fool's Day, something I'd never seen. Obviously, being a huge fan of the original, I never saw it, but I got it for $2, I think, half-price books, DVD. So obviously, if I can remember, which hopefully I can, the plan is to see, I haven't watched it yet, the plan is to watch it and obviously review that around, probably being a psycho anal OCD bastard, I'll probably upload it on the 1st of April, I would imagine, the review of, the remake of April Fool's Day. So those are some of the exciting things you can look forward to here on Huge Movie Fanatics on YouTube. Like I say, kind of antsy to get back on the saddle and continue reviewing. And anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Thank you very much for watching this update, and as always, we'll catch you on the next video.